Well, a very pleasant good evening to each and every one of you. It's such a pleasure to welcome you to this evening's very special event to celebrate the scholars of the 2022 Lyford Cay Foundations Scholarship Program. My name is John Darville, and I will be your host for this evening's ceremony. We're so proud of each and every one of you, and on behalf of all of those persons who are at the foundation, we're so pleased to have you join us. Just to say, we would like to warmly welcome to this stream this evening. Of course, as you know, we're in a post-pandemic world, and so we're still, caught in a little bit of the trappings of the virtual space. But we're so very pleased to have join us this evening for the ceremony, Mr. Basil Goulandris, the chairman of the Lyford Cay Foundation. Also, Timothy Unwin, the chairman of the Canadian Lyford Cay the Lyford Cay Foundation. Dr. Nicola Virgil Roll, the executive director, and the team of the foundation. Of course, we're so happy also to have with us Mr. Carlos Palacios, who will be our keynote speaker for this evening. All of our scholars, well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's ceremony. We're going to get right into our proceedings this evening and invite our director, our executive director, Dr. Nicola Virgil Roll, who will give us some welcome remarks. Let's welcome Nicola at this time.
Thank you, John. We are so grateful to have you here this evening as we recognize our new scholars. I would like to echo John, in particular in welcoming our chairman, Mr. Basil Goulandris and Mr. Tim Unwin, the members of our board, our scholars, and the family and friends of our scholarship recipients who have come to share this experience with us. For us at the foundations, the selection of awardees culminates a process that begins in February each year. But for you, our recipients, this was a process, of course, that began many years ago, and I hope you feel a sense of accomplishment tonight. We had to find the time to formally congratulate you because helping people through our scholarships is a big part of what we do, and you deserve this very important moment. Tonight, we host you virtually, but on December 29th, we're going to be holding our annual scholar reception, which will be held in person for the first time since 2019 at the Lyford Cay Club. And I hope to see all of you back home and have a chance to engage with you, with our donors, members of our board, and hear all about your experiences of college abroad. It is now my pleasure to welcome Mr. Basil Goulandris, who will bring the opening remarks. Ms. Goulandris.
Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for the introduction. It is such a privilege to be here, and on behalf of the board of directors and donors of the Lyford Cay Foundations, I'd like to thank you for all attending this event. It's one of the most important ones that we have on the Lyford Cay Foundation's calendar. I especially want to congratulate our scholars on all your achievements. We're delighted to be part of your journey to higher education and career success. You inspire us, just as we hope the values of our organization inspire you. You have much to be proud of. In 2022, this year, hundreds of aspiring college students applied for our scholarships. And after a rigorous process that took several months to finalize, our independent screening committee chose you as our awardees. This was no accident. You have distinguished yourselves, and you represent some of the brightest minds of your cohort. The discipline and commitment to learning that you have shown impressed our screeners and will serve you well in your careers. Your essays to the foundations highlighted your diverse interests and talents. Among you are future epidemiologists, climate scientists, marine biologists, engineers, architects, finance analysts, musicians, and certainly leaders of our country. It's particularly encouraging to see how many of you have chosen fields that are critical to the advancement of the Bahamas and plan to return home to fill key vacancies after completing your programs. As Lyford Cay Scholars, you now join an illustrious body featuring people who have contributed to national development in countless ways. To be a Lyford Cay Scholar is a source of pride. It means you're on track to academic and personal successes. It also means you're expected to uphold high standards of integrity, enhance your community through volunteerism, and generously help others so they too can fulfill their potential. I look forward to seeing how you all grow in the years to come. And again, I congratulate you and I wish you the best in your studies and your future endeavors. And lastly, welcome to the Lyford Cay Scholar family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nicola Virgil-Rolle, for your remarks. And of course, our chairman, Mr. Basil Goulandris, thank you very much for taking the time from your busy schedule to spend this moment with our scholars. Look how I'm already getting you graduated, right? Well, we're gonna get right into it and begin with the celebration of these amazing young persons who would have been able to set themselves aside, presenting themselves and conducting themselves in their academic work so well that they would have been privileged to be awarded such a prestigious scholarship this evening. We begin with our parade of scholars. We celebrate firstly Althea McDonald, who is a graduate of Temple Christian High School and the Bahamas Baptist College. She's attending Concordia University, where she studies finance and analytical economics. When she returns to the Bahamas, Althea wants to revolutionize financial planning. Congratulations, Althea. Our next recipient this evening is Miss Amber Turner. She is a proud resident of Grand Bahama and the recipient of the Lyford Cay Foundations Scholarship. She graduated the University of the Bahamas with the Small Island Sustainability Studies Award and the Bachelor of Science in Small Island Sustainability Marine Science Award recipient also there. We wish Amber all the best as she tries to impact the world of climate science. Congratulations, Amber. Our next highlight and feature this evening is future pilot Antonique Greenslade, a graduate of St. John's College, where she was passionate about extracurricular activities. She was a part of the choir, the Key Club, the Technical Cadets, the Senior Student Christian Movement, the World Scholars Club, Junior Achievement Toastmasters Club, and the GGYA. Congratulations, Antonique. Our next recipient this evening is Carlisa Smith. Carlisa loves animals. When she is not studying, she likes spending spare time with her pets, participating in liturgical dance at her church, and spending quality time with her family and friends. With the help of the foundations, she is studying animal biology and wants to eventually return home to help the population of stray animals. Congratulations, Carlisa. Our next recipient this evening, the foundation is most grateful to award this scholarship to Denisha Demerit, the recipient of the inaugural Sir Godfrey K. Kelly Graduate Scholarship. At a time when the COVID-19 pandemic has showed us how important public health experts are, Denisha wants to become an epidemiologist. She wants to design community-wide prevention and intervention programs and influence health policies affecting the Bahamas. Congratulations, Denisha. We look forward to you returning to our country and impacting us in that area. Our next recipient as a child, Dominique Boleg, loved Bahamian waters, and many of her hobbies, including scuba diving, snorkeling, and relaxing at the beach, revolved around the water. Dominique, the recipient of the Bahamas Billfish Championship Scholarship, is studying marine biology at Spring Hill College. She wants to use her expertise to address threats to our marine ecosystem. Congratulations, Dominique, and all the best. Our next award recipient is Donique Wiley, who is curious about decisions and policymaking, resource allocation, financial networks, and problem solving. This has led her to choose economics as her field of study. Currently a student of the University of Toronto, Donique says she wants to contribute to national development when she finishes her program. Congratulations, Donique. The foundation is now so very happy to award Elijah Stevens the Thompson Leadership and Innovation Scholarship. In 2017, Elijah won the James A. Hefner JBCU piano competition. He wants to be an ambassador for the Bahamas with his talents, performing as a concert pianist and participating in international competitions. Congratulations, Elijah. Our next award recipient this evening is Gabrielle Pintard-Nuri. She's a graduate of Queens College class of 2016. With a scholarship from the Bahamian government, she completed her bachelor's degree in international relations with French and Spanish at the University of British Columbia. Gabrielle is now a candidate for a Master's of Global Affairs degree at the Monk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy at the University of Toronto. Congratulations, Gabrielle. Next, we celebrate and highlight Jade Gray, a recipient of the Thompson Leadership and Innovation Scholarship, who is pursuing a master's degree in public health at the University of Western Ontario. Jade is concerned about the challenges facing our health system and wants to return home to become a health administrator and activist. Congratulations, Jade. Next, we have Jasmine Balfour. Jasmine Balfour says she loves visiting the beach, trying new recipes, and watching pimple popper videos. She is also passionate about proper oral care. A recipient of the Harold W. Simeons Technical Scholarship, Jasmine is studying dental hygiene at the PIMA Medical Institute. Congratulations, Jasmine. Next, let's celebrate Javon Pratt, a graduate from St. Augustine's College this year as the salutatorian and winner of the Deacon Adderley Outstanding Male Award. He is the 2017 National Spelling Bee champion. Javon is pursuing a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering at Howard University, specializing in robotics. Congratulations, Javon, and welcome to the Lyford Cay Scholarship family. An alumni of the Grand Bahama Academy of Seventh-day Adventists, Kylie Smith, our next award recipient, is a graduate of BTVI this year on the President's List with an information technology entry-level certificate. She is now pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science at Acadia University. One day, Kylie hopes to help the Bahamas maximize its water and marine resources to protect against water shortages. Congratulations, Kylie. Our next award recipient is LaShawn Martin. LaShawn Martin was a Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine recruit in 2019 and a British Royal Navy Commonwealth recruit in 2021. LaShawn is the recipient of the Sol Messams Templeton Scholarship and is undergoing LLM Maritime Studies at the BBP University in the United Kingdom. Congratulations, LaShawn. Our next recipient, Leandra Momsme, is a graduate of Temple Christian High School as valedictorian. Her love of mathematics inspired her to study the subject at the University of the Bahamas. This year, she became the first math major to graduate as valedictorian from the institution. Leandra is pursuing a master's degree in data science at the Technical University of Catalonia in Spain. Congratulations, Leandra. We are so very happy to welcome Maitland Lowe, a native of Hopetown, Abaco, to the Lyford Cay Scholar family. Maitland describes himself as a fisherman, scuba diver, guitarist, snowboarder, mechanic, and so much more. We wish you the best in your diesel mechanic study at Northeastern Junior College, Maitland. Congratulations. Our next recipient for this evening, Mateo Bethel, hails from Grand Bahama, a graduate of St. George's High School in 2021. He enjoys participating in sports and giving back through community service. Mateo is curious about how mechanics are constructed and designed and is studying mechanical engineering at the University of Guelph. Congratulations, Mateo. Our next recipient is Megan Francis, also hailing from the island of Grand Bahama. She graduated from Sunland Baptist Academy as salutatorian in 2009. She's a proud member of the Rotaract Club of Nassau Sunset and volunteers at the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. Megan is pursuing an advanced diploma in respiratory therapy from Fanshawe College. Congratulations, Megan. Olga Roussos is currently studying computer science at Lynn University, where she serves as a youth ambassador. In 2020 and 2021, Olga competed for Team Bahamas at the International Chess Federation's Olympiad. Congratulations, Olga. Our next recipient is Renisha Higgs Bryce, who is a native of McLeanstown in Grand Bahama. A recipient of the Bahamas Resilience and Excellence Scholarship, Renisha wants to make sure that the Bahamas has what it needs to sustain itself and is pursuing a master's degree in logistics and supply chain management from the University of Western Ontario. Congratulations, Renisha. The foundation is excited to support Teranique Bullard as she pursues a Master of Science in Architectural Research and Design from Tulane University. During her undergraduate educational experience, Teranique was the president of several architecture clubs. A native of Grand Bahama, she is the recipient of the Estelle Simeon's Excellence Scholarship. Congratulations, Teranique. Our next awardee, Therese Penniman, a graduate of BTVI. When she completed her course of study there in 2010, he graduated as valedictorian. His passion for automation grew after he became an electrical and instrumentation engineer or technician at Pharmacam Technologies. Therese is the recipient of the Bahamas Resilience and Excellence Technical Scholarship. Congratulations, Therese. Ritia Molly Barnett, the recipient of the Bahamas Resilience and Excellence Technical Scholarship, is currently studying health information management at St. Lawrence College in Canada, having worked as a hospital clerk for over a decade in the Bahamas. She is a certified progressional coder with the American Academy of Professional Coders. Congratulations, Ritia. And finally, and by no means least, our final recipient this evening, Yoshi Moxie, the recipient of the J&J Maritime Scholarship, a graduate of Genesis Academy's class of 2022, the class for which she was the valedictorian. She's a lover of music and has performed as second violinist with the Bahamas Music Academy Orchestra and was a winner in the National E. Clement Bethel Arts Festival solo violin category. Yoshi is studying actuarial science at Dalhousie University. Congratulations, Yoshi. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, our recipients of the Lyford Cay Foundation scholarships for 2022. I know we're in a virtual space, but if you would, come on, let's put those hands together and let's celebrate these amazing young people who are preparing themselves well-postured now to succeed with the support of this amazing foundations family. And again, on behalf of the foundations, we say welcome to the Lyford Cay Scholarships pool of family lovers and all of us together here together. And so let us continue now as we prepare to have a performance by Mr. Elijah Stevens, who is a 2022 Lyford Cay Foundation Scholarship and a recipient of the Thompson Leadership and Innovation Award. Let's welcome Elijah this time.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, the world-renowned Elijah Stevens. How amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Elijah, for that amazing, amazing artistic expression and presentation this evening. And of course, as you would have heard earlier, Elijah won the James A. Hefner JBCU piano competition. And one of his desires is to become an ambassador, a cultural ambassador for our country. So just now imagine the major, major impact he's going to have on the world scene and the artistic world with the support now of the Lyford Cay Foundations. Let's hear it for him once again, Mr. Elijah Stevens.
Your mic is muted.
Excellent, excellent. Congratulations to you, Elijah, and we're looking forward to amazing things coming from you. Now we're going to prepare ourselves to hear from our guest speaker, and we're going to invite to introduce our speaker, Mr. Javon Pratt. Once again, he's a 2022 Lyford Cay Scholar and the recipient of the TK Foundation Award. Let's welcome Javon at this time.
Good evening. Mr. Palacios is an engineer by training, environmentalist by nature, entrepreneur at heart, and executive by profession. Mr. Palacios was the first Bahamian coastal engineer. A Lyford Cay scholar, Mr. Palacios is a licensed professional engineer in the Bahamas, Canada, and USA, as well as being globally certified as a project management professional. In 2021, Project Y Bahamas named him one of the top 48 millennials for his work in the environment, media, service, business, and his work as an innovator. In 2018, Professional Services Bahamas included him on the prestigious Top 40 Under 40 list. He was selected to represent the American Society of Civil Engineers as an emerging leader in 2015. Mr. Palacios is a founder and managing principal of several engineering and technical related businesses, including Braun Development Consulting, Eden Farms, Climate Resilient Farming, and Blue Terra Sustainable Manufacturing. He has led many of the largest and most nationally significant public and private sector development projects and studies in recent times. He holds numerous leadership roles in civic, professional, and religious organizations. He is a regular presenter at national and regional forums in the areas of hurricane preparedness and response, climate change adaptation, and sustainable development. He is married to Anastasia, and they have a daughter, Cairo, and son, Chosen. I present to you, Mr. Palacios.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Javon, for that very kind introduction. John, Nicola, dignitaries, it's truly a pleasure to be here with you this evening. It's such an honor to be able to come back to where my roots would have begun. My journey to finishing my professional studies would have started similar to you at a Lyford Cay Scholar event, where you have to juggle things like figuring out how to do your own laundry, and this is your first time in college, or maybe how to deal with a budget, or possibly just having to deal with remote classes because it is COVID. And through all of this, there's lessons we can learn, there's opportunities we can garner. And so this evening, we'll walk through a bit of my journey, a bit of hopefully your journey, and we'll come to the realization of how through Lyford Cay, we are all better and stronger. And of course, what our future as Bahamians, as well as in our region, looks like because of our contributions. So of course, just like good old technology, my light is falling apart, and I'm going to have to adjust this while I talk to you, but it's not going to affect us because we're going to move forward. And I am an interactive speaker. So I'm going to start by asking you if you are grateful to be here this evening. If you're grateful to Lyford Cay, if you're grateful to your parents, etc., put in the chat right now, I am grateful. Please type it in the chat. And I'm going to ask you to interact with me throughout this.
Those are scholarships that are.
I am grateful. Awesome.
Look at them all.
Well, I am truly grateful, like I said, for a variety of things. And I'm going to start out with a little story. It was a dark night, and I was at home in my bed sleeping. I was 8 years old at the time. And suddenly, my 88-year-old grandfather ran and knocked on our door. An 88-year-old man running, knocking on your door late in the night. You know something's going on. Guess what? The house was on fire. Instead of screaming, running, panicking, my mom got us together, walked us down the stairs, and walked us outside. We stood there and we watched as the house burned down. The fire truck arrived, but the fire truck had no water. Where was the water, you might ask? We still don't know. But in this world, when there is no water, you have to make your own. Scholars, some of you might have felt like that when you went through this pandemic. For the past few years, we've been taken by surprise. We've had different fires that have caught up to us, whether it would be health challenges, whether it would be changing of your schedule as you might have planned to have started your studies several years ago. It might be the adjustment to hybrid or whatever other challenge that you might have seen through this trying time. It's a reminder to us that when the waters of life don't necessarily flow the way you want them to, it is up to you to direct the water. I love to use analogies. And as I go through the acronym WATER, I want you to capture what each one of those letters mean and put them in the chat for me. Because with the walk of life and as things flow through the fires of life, it's important to remember the certain foundational aspects of who you will be will guide who you will become. W. W stands for hard work. This is the easiest test in the world. Your first test, W, is work. In my parents' home, there's a wall with every certificate I've ever received. They created it and called it the Wall of Fame. The purpose was to keep me encouraged. Every SAT score, the good and the bad, every BGCSE result, every degree, every license, the voted most likely to succeed, the wacky day participant, they're all there across one big wall until the wall got so full we had to wrap around. And the reason why they're there, and what I've come to appreciate as I got older, is it's not so much about the sheets of paper or the ink that, yes, they're fading. I graduated in 2004, but it was the journey that led to each one of those certificates. Now I have a 5-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, and they have walls of fame. They have their certificates when they participate in the sack race and the egg and spoon. They have their Learner of the Week certificates, and they can say, look, Daddy, look, Auntie, look, Grammy, this is my wall of fame, because hard work pays off. And when walls of achievement are placed up in front of you, it reminds you that through every fire, every triumph, and every struggle, there's always something to be grateful for. So remember, hard work is the beginning of our water. A is for accepting the things you cannot change. A is for accepting, but changing the things you can. The night my mother woke us up, she knew she couldn't put out that fire, but she knew she could save our lives. So while the physical photos of my grandparents, the marks on the wall where she had grown up, and then I grew up, were burnt up, the hopes and the dreams that were within us live on. While it is never easy to move forward, we must. One of the things that I would have dealt with as a more recent challenge was having multiple businesses with just over 60 team members during a global pandemic. Decisions have to be made. Salaries have to be reduced. We know whose salary is used to cover whose grandmother's health insurance or whose child needs that special medication. So when you have to deal with these adversities, when life sends the fire, you have to bring the water that can bring peace and comfort where possible, but understanding that survival is critical. just like my mom walked us out of that house that evening, understanding that passports, pictures, even tea sets are important. Ultimately, life, survival, and longevity are critical. T is to remember that you have to have time to play. Time to play. You're in college. You've worked hard. You've accepted the things that you cannot change, but you've changed the things that you can. Well, now it's time to have some fun. I know some of your parents are on this call and they might be listening. Mom and dad, your kids are in college and they need to enjoy it. Once it's over, it'll be gone. Work and other responsibilities will be here before you know it. During the summer, our family went on vacation to Europe. I took my kids, my parents, my in-laws to Madrid, Paris, and London. It was an amazing trip, obviously, in the heart of COVID, but we remain COVID-free, gratefully. One of the fun things we did, in London, we watched the play Frozen. Now, if anyone has a younger sister or a younger niece or a daughter, you know how serious Frozen is for them. Let it go. No, sorry, I won't sing, even though I have to sing it every night. In the play, one of the characters named Matthias said this quote, and it was very powerful. He said, just when you think you found your way, life will throw you onto a new path. We found ourselves on this new path, an uncertain path. Sometimes it's filled with frustration and disappointment, but a path that I believe will lead us to become even stronger. So remember through this that you have to enjoy it and you have to cherish every moment, because once this tough season is over, it's going to be over. So remember to take time to play. And this leads us to our E in our journey of water. E is for emerge. And I'm using this word because I ask us to emerge into who we will become. My 2-year-old son, Chosen, he was born in the global pandemic, June 2020. It was an interesting season to be 6 months pregnant when the pandemic started in March, because I couldn't go into any doctor's visits, but I was blessed to be the first father to see their child born in the pandemic. We named him Chosen because he was chosen for a time such as this. We play with Play-Doh quite a lot. He eats it quite a lot. Interesting story about Play-Doh. I learned that it was originally created for wiping soot from wallpaper. The company had been doing quite well until one day there was no longer demand for something to wipe soot off wallpaper. The sister-in-law of one of the principals saw it, touched it, and realized that it would be an amazing, perfect toy for children. The company went from failing to manufacturing a multi-million-dollar product that is used today in over 110 years later, all around the world. The Play-Doh story is to remind us that ingenuity, refinement, and significant opportunities can come out of hardship. But being let go, for example, during the recession in 2008, which was an extremely trying time in my life, is what brought me back to the Bahamas. As a result of coming back to the Bahamas, I found out through a friend about a little unknown profession called coastal engineering. I had studied at Dalhousie University, where I had done my undergrad in civil and structural engineering. It turns out he called me up one day and said, a big, well-known hotel is looking to hire a coastal engineer. And I said, what's that? He said, I figured you would know. Aren't you studying engineering? So I Googled it and I realized that it was a very specialized area that deals with engineering wherever the water meets the land. And there began my journey. Once again, the hardships of being laid off from my job in Miami led me to appreciate what opportunities there were to become the first in something and to help pioneer an entire generation to better understand how climate change impacts small island developing states. As a result, I was honored to be invited to COP27 in Egypt, So I'll be in Egypt in a few weeks to attend the largest climate change conference in the world. It's the small things that you must emerge from, the fires that seem like at the time they're burning down, that will one day allow you to realize what the true opportunity and potential that exists for your life that you can't fully see in this season that you're in. And our final letter, R. So we've walked through a variety of things, and we've come to a point where it's time to remember. R, remember. Remember the legacy that you want to leave. I talked about how the pandemic has been a consuming fire for many of us. On Saturday past, I watched The Redeem Team. It's a documentary about the US Olympic men's team. They won the 2008 Beijing Olympics after losing the previous Olympics. Kobe Bryant is featured throughout. And I'm not one to necessarily mourn celebrities, but Kobe's passing really felt like family. How could you miss someone you've never even met? If you died, he wouldn't know who I was. So I couldn't really come to terms with my emotions for a while after he passed. The reason I became a Lakers fan was because of Kobe. I would be there in the schoolyard shooting Kobe. Shortly after, Jordan, of course, would have come out, and Kobe would have kind of emerged a bit beyond him in terms of my generation. And Kobe's story was interesting. For me, he was the only jersey I ever owned, the first pair of basketball tennis I had. And it's not that I would name my kids after him, but his death felt precious. And when I did a deep dive into who he was, as I tried to realize why he was so memorable, I realized that he lived relentlessly. He worked harder, he competed harder, he practiced harder. He was a part of every Christmas game we watched as a family. He was a part of our home, the memories I had with my grandfather, who's now passed, when I would get to stay up late to watch Lakers games. He was the embodiment of WATER, the principles I've shared. And I'm sure that many of you would agree that his death took a lot of people by shock. Not all of us will become international celebrities like Kobe, but no matter who we are, we have a legacy of excellence that we can lead. The key is to show up, to push through any fire, to look through any smoke, to remember that our children, our spouses, our family one day should be able to speak of our greatness. Let us make sure that we put up our wall, because our time on earth is short, no matter how long we live. When I was 8 years old, I watched my house burn down because there was no water. Scholars, the world is burning. Once you can apply hard work, accept the things you cannot change, take time to play, emerge into who you might become, and remember the legacy that you want to live, then you can be the water. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Could we come together, just give him a round of applause for such an amazing presentation.
Amazing.
I'm sure each of us would have gleaned from his presentation this evening, and he shared with us some very poignant words from what I would say he used as, an acronym, the word water. Could I get 5 persons quickly just to share with me, 5 of the scholars, would you share with me what each of those letters stood for? We had W. Could you come off mute and share it with me?
They might let you
W.
watch now on your own.
Work, hard work.
Okay. Can somebody else share with me what was the A standing for?
A stands for accepting the things that you cannot change, but change the things that you can.
Excellent. So we had W that stood for work or hard work. A, which stood for acceptance, accepting the things you can't change. And we had P. Who can tell me what P was for?
Oh, I'm going for this.
Could somebody share me what T
Time
stood
to
for?
play.
Right, taking some time to play, some R&R, to enjoy the season that you're in, the experiences that you're having. And then we had E. What did the E stand for?
Emerge.
To emerge, emerge. And finally, we had R. What did R stand for?
Remember the legacy you want to leave.
Yes, indeed, to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Lyford Cay scholar and brilliant Bahamian, everything, engineer and coastal engineer. Let's give it up for Mr. Palacios and thank him so much for spending the time and making such a wonderful presentation. Come on, let's see those hands going in celebration of him. Thank you so much. At this time, we're going to conclude our celebrations this evening with our final speaker. We're going to have a scholar reflection by Ms. Denisha Demerit, and she is the 2022 Lyford Cay Foundations scholar and recipient of the Sir Godfrey K. Kelly Graduate Scholarship. Denisha, take it away and share with us. We're excited to hear from you this evening.
Yes, thank you. Dream, plan, succeed. A pleasant good evening to all. I wholeheartedly want to express my sincere gratitude to the donors and to all those at the Lyford Cay Foundation for this esteemed opportunity. I would love to extend a huge congratulations to all the 2022 scholarship recipients on your achievements. Can we get some confetti in the chat? This evening, I've been asked to talk about what it means to be a Lyford Cay scholar. Hundreds of years ago, there was a man who was a bold intellect and an influencer in his time. Some of you may know him. You may know him as Paul. He once asserted these wise words: being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Paul's insight has emphasized 3 key points throughout my academic journey. That is, believe, begin, and bring to fruition. As a student and now Lyford Cay Foundation scholar, I've come to the realization that the first step in any journey is to believe. Paul started off his statement with strong language by announcing his convictions. He says, being confident of this, which suggests that he is fully and firmly convinced and persuaded by what he is about to say next. And as a scholar, this concept holds true in everyday life as well. Before we take our next steps, we must first be unequivocally unmoved and steadfast in our hopes. We have to believe in what it is we are trying to accomplish. We have to believe that all things are possible. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in our dreams, and we have to believe that we will make it. Sometimes we even have to believe without seeing and without knowing how it will happen or when it will happen. I am a first-generation college student currently pursuing a master's degree in epidemiology. I had to believe that I was and that I am able to seek and attain higher education, even when my circumstances said otherwise. I had times when I did not know how I was going to show proof of finances to get my student visa for undergrad, or how I was going to fund grad school, but I believed. The second point I'd like to emphasize is to just begin. Paul tells us, he who began. This is often the hardest part of the journey. We either don't know how to start or we are afraid of starting. The interesting thing about starting is that it is never too late to do it. Being a Lyford Cay scholar means that you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to plan. Working builds character and fortitude. Working does a work in us. Aside from putting in the work academically, I have been a part of many organizations, serving on the Student Senate as Student Activities Representative, co-chair of the Joint Club Board, newspaper editor, and news anchor at my alma mater, as well as a member of the Archipelago Association and National Society of Leadership and Success. Additionally, I have volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club of America and the American Association of University Women Tech Savvy program, which is a workshop for 5th through 8th grade girls to explore STEM fields through fun activities. And now I dedicate my time as a research assistant at the Center for Public Health Systems at the University of Minnesota, examining health equity practices in health departments. And so I say all this to say that as scholars, we are here because we aren't afraid of hard work. And so we must begin or continue the good work set ahead of us. Lastly, bring to fruition. Paul puts it like this: see it to completion, which is skillfully implying it would be carried out to the end. And to sum it all up in one word, this means that as scholars, we have to persevere. For many of us, we have had challenges in our journeys to get here, whether financial difficulties, crisis, or other obstacles. But what sets us apart as Lyford Cay scholars is our perseverance. And I often say that it is the one thing that is standing between our success and our defeat. It is critical that we see this journey through to the end and help someone along the way. I've been told no countless times, but I've never accepted an NO. I've taken it as a chance for a next opportunity. Being a Lyford Cay scholar means that we are relentless in pursuing our dreams and we are destined to succeed. I could have given up when I couldn't register for classes because my student account had a hold due to a balance, or when one of my previous academic advisors told me that the second year of grad school would be difficult. But God always sends provision to complete the great work he started. Whether it is finances or peace or wisdom and knowledge and understanding to submit an assignment before 11:59 p.m. The great work we have started will be completed. It is with great generosity, like that of the Lyford Cay Foundation and its donors, especially my donor, that we are able to believe in our dreams, plan our beginnings, and succeed in bringing forth the good work to fruition. A heartfelt thank you to all of our families and friends who have supported us along the way. And once again, to the donors and all those at the foundation for making our dreams possible. Again, congratulations to all the recipients. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Denisha. And as a country, I'm sure we are well poised in the future to be aided with the skillful talent and innovation that you will bring to the field of epidemiology in the future and community-based interventions. Congratulations to you. We wish you all the best. Come on, let's give those virtual claps for Denisha, and thank her so much for her reflection. Thank you, Denisha. We continue now with our final reflection by Ms. Amber Turner, who is also a 2022 scholar and the recipient of the Contigo Foundation Scholarship. Let's welcome her now with her reflection. Welcome, Amber.
Thank you, Mr. Davo. Good evening, everyone. Like Mr. Davo said, my name is Amber Turner, and I am a graduate student at the University of the West Indies Cayville campus, where I am pursuing a Master of Science degree in Natural Resources and Environmental Management with my specialization in climate change. So just a little bit about why I decided to pursue this specific degree. So the area of climate change is a pressing issue for small island developing states like the Bahamas. And as sea level rises and hurricanes increase with intensity and frequency, it is imperative that the country has trained professionals to create mitigation measures and adaptive policy to create a more resilient Bahamas. So as we all know, we've all started our studies, and a little bit about what's going on in my realm of study right now is that it is challenging, yet rewarding. and I'm learning so much about climate change and its impact on the Caribbean region. And I'm so grateful for the Lyford Cay Foundation for allowing me to experience this opportunity. So in closing, I just want to express my gratitude to the donors and the Lyford Cay Foundation for making my pursuit of higher education a reality. Your generosity, has not gone unnoticed, and I'm forever grateful. Once again, thank you to the Lyford Cay Foundation, and congratulations to my fellow scholars. May we remain focused to create and change our Bahamas.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Amber. Let's give it up for Amber. And listen, as swift and concise as you were this evening in your remarks, I'm sure we can expect to be, for us to benefit as a small island developing state, to benefit from some swift strategies and concepts and policies that we can take as a country towards securing our people and our future as a small island developing state. So congratulations to you on your studies. We wish you all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bahamas' future small island developing states, marine science professional. Come on, let's hear it for Amber Turner and celebrate her one more time. Thank you so much. Very proud of you. Let's now turn our attention to young Mr. Clarence Aubrey, who will grace us now with a wonderful poem at this time. And he, of course, is a 2022 scholar and the recipient of the Harry Moore Scholarship for the Arts. Let's welcome him now with his poem.
John, thank you so much. I'm flattered that you call me young. So I'm going to run with that for the rest of the semester. But it is my pleasure to be here to deliver this poem for all of you tonight. Big congratulations extended to all of the new Lyford Cay scholars. I was a recipient last year and a returning scholar this year. So much gratitude extended to the staff and the donors over at the Lyford Cay Foundation. Carlos, whatever spirit was with Carlos while he was writing his speech must have been the spirit that was with me as I was attempting to write this poem. Carlos said that the earth is burning. And so I hope that this poem gives us some sort of a call to do something about that. So I have titled this poem, Calling. When the world begins to eat its own flesh, the young must tend to its wounds. It is the clear-eyed, refusing to curse the sky for its freckled face, who rise to meet the diminishing light. All the great stories of days past speak with common tongue. The meek shall inherit the earth. And who are they, you ask? It is the hand building the bridge over waters poisoned by insatiable greed. It is the voice piercing through chests of steel, restoring and mending hearts stricken with grief. It is the sower of seeds, the dreamers, slashing their way through treacherous fields, arriving at their own imagined heaven. In times of despair, we do not bend under the weight of fear. We open our mouths, unclasp our anxious fists. We remember the work of our ancestors. We remember the promise planted in the small of our backs, infinite dreams nestled in the soles of our feet. Come now, let us reason together. The hour to take up cause is always now. Gather your breath, which is the only weapon you ever need. Come, let us begin anew. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Come on, let's get those virtual claps going. And I'm sure his poem was indeed a call for us to begin anew with a new mindset, with that personal drive and self-determination to make good on this investment in each and every one of you to make the world a better place. So congratulations. Thank you so much once again for that amazing poetic presentation, Clarence, with your young self. Thank you. Well, we have arrived at the end of this evening's celebration. I hope if only you were inspired and encouraged, because the future of our nation and our world simply looks so much more bright. Now that these young people have banned their creative ingenuity, their plans for academic success, their commitment to this process, and the resources and funding of the partners and donors of the Lyford Cay Foundations, they are well poised now to make good on those plans and to be all that they can be in these varying areas of endeavor and academic study. Congratulations again to each of you. And now to close out our celebrations, we invite with remarks and thank you, Dr. Tamika Davis, the scholarship consultant for the Lyford Cay Foundation. Let's welcome her, please.
Thank you. I think I have probably the most inspiring task, and that's to begin with gratitude. So first to the chairman of the Lyford Cay Foundation and also the chairman of the Canadian Lyford Cay Foundation, to the board members that are present with us this evening, and to our executive director. On behalf of all of the scholars, so those who are new awardees, those who've been renewed, and alum, a heartfelt thank you for your continued commitment to really investing in the lives of young Bahamians. I think we've all heard stories from each of the scholars who presented this evening of how the investment really is making a difference in their lives, and how the investment really is the difference between an opportunity and a path that will put them, or the opportunity that puts them on a path just to make great contributions to the Bahamas and what might have been otherwise not such a great future for them. So on behalf of the students and parents that are represented here this evening, thank you. To our primary speaker, so Mr. Palacios, I think everybody's going to remember water and what it stands for, but I think what I'm going to remember most is the transparency that you shared your life, you shared your journey, you allowed us to see not just the high points, but you allowed us to have an idea and a glimpse into the factors and the experiences that we can take and think about in our own lives and for ourselves, and not necessarily to replicate, but to think about a model that can work for inspiring us to success. So thank you for your time. It was obvious that you really spent an enormous amount of energy, like contemplating and thinking through an impactful and powerful message for our students, and we know that it will remain with them. So thank you for being with us today and for the investment of your time and the hours leading up to today. And then to all of our scholars who presented. So I think it's a heartwarming experience, both on the side of the donors who invest and commit, but I think it's also important for scholars to come together and to hear from other scholars of their experiences. So having Mr. Palacios speak, he's probably a few years out from where you are, but having your own fair share of just their real experiences. I think all of us hearing Elijah on the piano or Clarence kind of reciting a poem in each of the presentations by our scholars, it was a point of inspiration. And so to each of you, both those that were actively engaged in the program and those that attended, thank you for being an inspiration to the foundation. You are why we do this. Dr. Nicola works incredibly hard. You would not understand the commitment and the dedication that she has to each of your success. I know often there's this phrase, we are terribly committed to your success. As the leader in the foundation, the day-to-day operations, she is committed to your success. And I think for all of us that work, even the team that put the event on from behind the scenes, it's incredibly gratifying to sit and to listen and to hear of the hope that you provide for the country and the hope that you provide for our future. So thank you for participating, Elijah, Javon, Denisha, Amber, and Clarence, and then to all of you who are present on the call, thank you. And to the team that made this possible, Lyford Cay Foundations, the Movi Group, Mr. Jarbo, thank you for your moderation. Thank you for the technical support. Thank you for the creativity and the innovation and the ingenuity with all that went into putting the evening together. We are very grateful for the opportunity to bring our donors and executives from the foundation with the technical team that works to support our students together in a place to share our inspirations and our hope for the future. To everyone, thank you very much and have a good evening.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Tamika, for your remarks of thank you. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and they're off. All of our scholars have been duly acknowledged. They have been awarded their scholarships. They are well poised and excited to move on now and go out into the big, broad, big, broad world and to achieve and learn all they can and come back in their various spaces and make the amazing impact they'll be well postured to make. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure being your host, and we wish you all the best. Good evening, everybody.